The greatest investment you can make in yourself as a woman is start living by yourself. You will learn so much about yourself by living alone. Not with your parents, not with the roommate, not with your boyfriend or husband. You have to experience life by yourself. If you have an opportunity, if it's not too late, start living by yourself. I know it's not cheap. I know it's an investment, but it's an investment into knowing yourself, into finding out what you like, what you don't like, how you like the space to look like, how you like to organize things, how you like to spend your alone time, because only by spending that quality time by yourself, you'll be able to find authentic parts of you that you would never be able to find in a relationship or living with anyone else. I was lucky enough that I got to experience living alone before I got married. And I think that's the experience that really helped me understand myself and what I want from life, from myself, not just from relationships, but what I want from myself. What talents do I have? What desires do I have? And it's something that I will cherish forever because I had that experience. So if you have an opportunity, do that for yourself and see it as an investment, not as an expense, because you are worth investing in.
You can't break someone who's not afraid to eat alone or sleep alone. They're dangerous. Most people need noise, constant validation, a crowd to feel seen. But the one who sits alone, drinks their coffee in silence, who takes themselves out, plants alone, dreams alone, that's power. Because silence isn't loneliness, it's training. They're learning to be their own peace, their own company, their own hype. You can't manipulate someone who's not scared of being by themselves. They don't chase tables to feel included, they build their own. So next time you see someone eating alone, don't pity them. They're not lonely, they're untouchable, because once you master solitude, no crowd can control your peace again.
Here's the truth nobody really sells you, because it doesn't fit on a cute quote graphic.
Being alone and feeling that loneliness is really important in growth. You know what I mean? Like, you need to have those nights where you're just like, dang, like, no one's calling me. Okay, so, you need to sit in that. And I feel like you only grow as a person, because then you realize your worth. I remember before Les and I started dating, I was like, dang, I'm going to be single forever. I really thought that, like, because I was single for so long and I'd meet people, it never worked out. I just kind of sat in that, like, I have to get comfortable being by myself, like being alone. And I did, and then I feel like less just happened out of nowhere when I wasn't expecting it.
As a woman, you have to learn how to be at peace with being alone. You have to get to a place where you can sit with your own thoughts, your own patterns, your own healing, without trying to fill in the silence with somebody else. Because once you learn how to love yourself in your own company, everything shifts. You stop chasing attention. You stop settling for the bare minimum. You stop confusing loneliness with love. When you finally get comfortable being alone, you become protective of your peace in a way that changes the way that you date, the way that you choose, the way that you show up. You realize you don't need anyone. You get to choose them. And that is when you stop accepting less than what you deserve.
If you are a single woman and you're struggling with loneliness, the truth of the matter is you're not making enough money. Yeah. Think about it. You can only feel loneliness when there's lack of activities and you're not moving around. Because if you were up 6 figures, instead of catching feelings, you'll be catching flights. Yeah, look. Get the digital blueprint and consume yourself with finances and ways to make money, and join a community of women so you won't feel lonely. You can access it now for as low as $24 monthly installment. The link is in my bio.
Living alone isn't lonely. It's loud. Not in a chaotic way, but in a, wow, this is what my own thoughts sound like way.
I learned how to just be okay with being by myself, and then later I learned that I'm just a solitary type of person. I like being to myself. I like being the person that doesn't have to be with everyone or doesn't have to be out all the time with different groups of people. I genuinely feel like I was set apart for a reason, and I'm one of God's favorites. So I stand with my chest out and my head up at all times.
A little birdie told me that you want to learn how to go out by yourself. And I'm the perfect person for that because I grew up with social anxiety, and I'm going to tell you guys how I overcame it. It became a trend to start going out alone on social media. A lot of people were making videos about it. They were like, self-care this, self-care that. So I was like, all right, let me try this thing out. But obviously, as somebody with social anxiety, I had to figure out how to navigate that from my point of view. My first tip is be very intentional about what you're going to do. If you want to go out and make friends, make sure you do everything that aligns with that. Like being more open, not using your phone, because people are a bit more reluctant to approach someone who's on their phone because they're like, okay, like maybe they're busy, right? Have a smile on your face, but I know not everybody is like that. So, be yourself, of course. But it's also about a balance. The reason I say be intentional with that is because a lot of us will go out and then we're kind of just looking around like, okay, what's next? And that's because we're not moving intentionally. Always carry something to do, because if you don't have anything to do, then it just looks a little weird. It's boring. Don't do that. Have some knitting, have a laptop, do some coding, like do something. Don't just sit there expecting somebody to come up to you, because it's not how it works. And like I said, well, I didn't say this, but if you're going out alone, you don't necessarily have to go out with the intentions of meeting people. Sometimes it's just a self-care day. So do whatever it takes to take care of yourself. Maybe you want to people watch. That's cool too. Next, you want to write down all of the fears that you associate with being alone, so you can pick at them and dissect them to understand them a bit more so you can overcome them. The goal is to reframe your mindset. That way it'll be a lot easier on you and you can alleviate that paranoia. I like to throw in some affirmations like, being alone is not a problem. I am safe wherever I am. People's opinion of me, it's not my truth. So I hope this helps, my little lovies. If I didn't include anything, you guys can drop it down in the comments.
When you live by yourself, there's no audience, no one to perform for, no one to adjust your volume, your habits, or your appetite for.
If you're a woman that can go out by yourself to a bar, to a club, to a party, to an event, typically like a social environment, you're a different breed. And let me tell you why. You need to have a certain level of confidence to where you can walk in there and not feel intimidated that you're alone, not feel intimidated at the fact that a lot of people either are there with a friend or with their boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever. Today, I went out to a comedy club. I've never been to one, but I really wanted to experience it. My ring light just went out, but when I got there, I noticed that everybody was either in a couple or in a friend group, and I was okay with that. Like, I was secure and comfortable being there by myself, and I had the best time. I value friends and I love hanging out with people, but I've really come to enjoy my own company. Get comfortable being alone. Get comfortable with yourself. Once you can do that, you will be so unstoppable.
Hey, I saw a post that said, if I could give you one piece of advice, it would be to learn how to be alone. That is so real. That is so true. Please do not find validation in this world. Please. Please do not find validation in friends and the people around you. Literally learn how to be alone. Learn who you are deep down inside. Learn how to sit with yourself to the point where nobody can tell you anything about yourself that you don't already know. Learn how to study yourself. Learn how to criticize yourself and take criticism from yourself and build yourself up. So many people cannot sit with themselves alone because they don't know who they are, or they just don't like themselves. They don't like who they are when they are alone. So they always need some type of company around them to validate them, their feelings, their emotions. Learn how to be alone. Learn how to sit with yourself. Really find a friend in yourself, because at the end of the day, it's you. You got you. Don't rely on nobody else. I don't care how many people say they 10 toes down behind you. People wake up and change every day. Learn how to be alone. And when people walk away, you will remain who you are when they're here and when they're gone.
Okay, this is your sign to go out alone. Last week, I went out alone 3 times. I now have 2 dates on the docket. I've made so many new girlfriends. One of the nights that I went out alone ended up turning into a date, and then all my friends joined us. It was actually really cute. I used to have crippling anxiety around going out by myself or being anywhere solo, but it is a fear that I have wanted to conquer for a really long time. And I just heard that it is the best way to meet new people. It's the best way to date. It's the best way to just put yourself out there. And so I finally did it. Last weekend, I accidentally went out solo because I was going out with a friend of mine and his plans ended up changing and he had to like show up 3 hours later. So I was already on my way to Soho House and I was like, okay, Kim, you can either go back home or you can just go to Ludlow House by yourself. And so I went by myself and guys, that one night turned into...
You eat when you're hungry, you clean when you feel like it, you decorate based on vibes, not consensus. And suddenly you realize half of your personality was just compromise.
To 3 separate nights that I like went out solo and just like went off to do my own little thing at some points of the night. I feel like it's all about where you go. You want to go somewhere where there is music, but you can still hear each other. Like you can still talk. You have to be able to talk to people. Like you don't want to stroll up to a club. Obviously, if you're a woman, you're gonna get in. But if you go to a club, you're in an environment where people are really cliquey. They're sitting at tables. So this is where I would go if I were gonna go out alone and I knew that like I wanted to meet people. You definitely want to go somewhere that you feel really comfortable. So like a spot that you frequent all the time. I live in New York. A lot of people in New York belong to different members clubs. So that's really great. The thing about members clubs, you typically go with your friends, but you need to start going to these members clubs alone because A, you're really comfortable going there, and B, again, you just want to get out by yourself and just see where the night takes you. I know that not everyone belongs to a members club, and some cities don't even have members clubs worth joining. So if I were you, I would go to a spot that you frequent with friends. You don't want to go somewhere that is really coupley and just for dates. You don't want to go somewhere that's really loud and you can't talk to anyone. You want to go somewhere that gets all the girls out, all the guys out, all the groups out, lots of friend vibes, because people in those environments are more open to getting to know people. The first thing that I did when I went out solo, I just like went to the bar, ordered myself a drink. You have to talk to people at the bar, like the people next to you, ask them what they're ordering, like talk. That's the point. If you don't talk...
Living alone will introduce you to versions of yourself you've never met. The calm one, the dramatic one who plays music at full volume while folding laundry, the healed one, and yes, the slightly unhinged one who has fake arguments in the shower. All sacred, all necessary.
To anyone, you are going to feel so awkward and you are not going to have a fun night. So talk to the people at the bar. Another thing you can do to start conversation, you can go up to a group and ask, hey, is anyone sitting here? Like if you notice there's a chair that no one's sitting in, you can just go up. You're solo. It's not intimidating. You can just say, hey, is anyone sitting here? And you sit. And then you make friends that way. You introduce yourself, you guys get to talking. Another way that I think people underestimate a lot, but I am very much life of the party vibes, dancing is such a great way to start conversation because dancing communicates a sense of openness, right? Like you're open, you're just having a good time, you're free. One of the girlfriends that I met last weekend, I was on the dance floor and I was just like dancing and like feeling the music. And she came up and she started dancing with me and she's like, come to my table with my friend. And I ended up meeting all her friends and we just had the best night ever. So yeah, talk to people at the bar, ask to sit next to people. You're by yourself, you're not intimidating, and dance. I think at the end of the day, it's all about the environment that you go to. So you want to make sure that you're comfortable. You want to make sure that you can talk in that environment, but there's also music. So you can dance, you know, if you ever need to alleviate some of the awkwardness, and you want there to be groups, not somewhere where it's just for like date night, because then you're not going to have anyone to talk to. Anyway, I had the best time. You make so many new friends. You get asked out on so many dates. It's just like the best way to, I don't know, put yourself out there. So you guys should try it.
And listen, being alone will try you. There will be nights where your phone is silent, where no one is calling, where boredom whispers, text him. That's the test, because boredom and loneliness are famous liars. They convince people to entertain nonsense, revisit expired situations, and emotionally shop when they're tired.
Solo activities you should consider trying as a girl. We always talk about self-love, but there is no self-love if you don't start enjoying your own company. And I know it's not easy. Yes, I know. So here is a list of activities you should consider trying if you want to start enjoying your own company. Number 1, solo picnic. Carry a mat, a book, bowl of fruits, a drink, your phone, earpiece, AirPods, whatever it is. Go to your compound, go to your balcony, go somewhere serene, sit down, enjoy your serenity, enjoy your company. You don't have to always talk to people, talk to yourself. Number 2, journaling. I'm very sure a lot of you are already familiar with this one because I talk about it a lot. Get a book and a paper. Write whatever it is you need to write inside. What you're feeling, write it there. Instead of you carrying your phone to go and call her down, write what you want to say to her and write it in that book. If your friend is pissing you off, you're mad at your friend, you're mad at someone, you're mad at your family, your mom, your dad, write it in your journal. It is a very good solo activity. Number 3, learn it.
But when you stay, when you sit in it, you start learning discernment. You stop confusing access with intimacy. You stop calling potential connection. You stop needing noise to feel validated.
A skill. One skill. It's not gonna hurt you. You don't have to go and pay someone to learn a skill. You can learn from YouTube. Dedication is what matters. So before you learn a skill, try to tell yourself, this is what I'm trying to achieve within this period of time, so that you'll be focused and your attention would be on that particular skill. Number 4, you have to learn a new language. I know it's not easy, this one, because I've been learning Spanish, I've been learning French, and I find myself drifting, going back. It's like a tug of war, but I must learn by fire, by force. You don't know what you're going to get yourself exposed to in the future. So why are you not making plans right now? You're not going to die in Nigeria. Maybe you want to die in Nigeria, but I know I'm not going to die in Nigeria. So how do I want to interact with certain people when I meet them? Start learning new languages. One more that is very therapeutic is going through your closet to declutter. This one. You see, we have clothes, all of us, even you that will say, oh, I don't have a lot of clothes. There are some clothes in your closet that me and you know that you have not worn in ages and you don't think you're going to wear them anytime soon, but every time you see them you're going to keep pushing them to the back. I'll wear you out.
And something wild happens. Your standards rise quietly. Your peace becomes non-negotiable. You don't rush. You don't chase. You don't accept crumbs just because you're hungry for company.
I'll wear you out. Is it like you will not wear them? Go through your closet and declutter. Now when you declutter, you don't have to throw them away immediately. Keep them in a place. Okay, you can be giving them out one after the other. You can run a giveaway. You can run a little thrift program on your page. Boredom and loneliness can make people do crazy shit, call people you're not supposed to call, entertain what you're not supposed to entertain. But the moment you start enjoying your own company by engaging yourself in different solo activities, life starts to look better for you. You stop missing people and you find it really easy to cut anyone that is not favoring your life off. As you already know, this page is dedicated to the girls' girl. So if you want more lists like this, make sure you're following, make sure you share, and drop a comment. Bye.
You realize, I don't need someone to fill my time. I need someone who adds to my life. Being alone teaches you how you actually move through the world, what you like, what drains you, what excites you, what you refuse to tolerate ever again.
A really important part from healing is you gotta get comfortable with being alone. You need to have the courage to face you, because you can go out all you want. You could distract yourself by drinking, by going to the club, by hanging out with friends, but at the end of the day and at the end of the night, it's always going to be you versus you. No matter how many distractions you add to yourself, you are not healing. You are not processing. So you can push it back as far as you want, but don't expect to get anywhere in the healing process. In order to heal, you need to face you. You need to process the emotions. You need to get comfortable being uncomfortable. That's the only way to grow. You gotta go through pain in order to heal.
And once you genuinely enjoy your own company, you become dangerous in the best way. Because now, anyone who enters your life has to compete with your peace. And baby, your peace is elite.